problems are concerned. Okay, are you able to all
Sir,
the screen? Yeah.
sir, last time you gave two problems of gratuity, sir.
Okay, now we'll solve that also, but let me first finish with HRA because we completed HRA first and then we'll
Yes,
come
sir.
to
Yes, sir.
gratuity, right? So I'll
Yes,
cover
sir.
first problems on HRA and then we'll
Yes, sir.
come to gratuity. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All of you are able to see the screen? Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
fine. So let us start with the problems. Okay, as far as salaries are concerned. So today we are going to discuss only problems related to uh, HRA and one or two problems with respect to the gratuity computation. Also, I have circulated one more PDF wherein you have some theory with respect to what is a gratuity, how it is been computed, and the problems on gratuity computation. That thing is also mentioned in that particular PDF file, the second PDF file that I've sent. Okay, so let us start with the present one. Okay, now normally the problems would come in this particular way. Okay, as far as HRA calculation is concerned, right? If they come as an individual problem, otherwise they will be clubbed with many other things. So what are those many other things? We'll see it later. So the problem says, from the following data relating to Mr. Pranaval, compute income chargeable under the head salaries. Okay, so they are asking us to compute what is a taxable salary basically, right? So what they have given some information like what is the basic salary per month of the candidate or Mr. P or Mr. Perinwal. Okay, next is HRA, house rent allowance has been given, commission has been given, bonus has been given. So these are nothing but incomes which are forming a part of the salary, right? On the other, on the right hand side, you can see some deductions there. You have income tax been deducted, that is 200 rupees per month, PF that has been deducted, professional tax that has been deducted, and it is also said that he stays in a rented house and he pays a rent of around 1200 rupees per month in a place called Coimbatore. Okay, now what they have asked us, they have asked us to compute income chargeable under the head salaries, and here specifically we have to discuss the concept of HRA calculations, right? So we'll start with the first calculation that we have to do as far as HRA is concerned. So first and foremost thing what you have to do is, the first condition whenever you are computing HRA, you need to compute salary that is required to compute HRA, right? So first we need to compute salary. Now, if you open the previous, if you can recollect what we discussed in the previous class, the theory class of HRA, I said if you want to compute salary, you have to take into consideration three things. One is basic salary, second is DA if it is applicable, third is any commission that is forming a part of the salary. So all these three conditions have to be taken into consideration. So let us see those three conditions first. On your screen, can you see the basic salary which is given to you as 4,000 rupees per month, right? So 4,000 rupees per month into 12 months. If I do it, it works around 48,000 rupees annually. Remember, whenever we compute, whenever we are going to, make a person liable to pay tax, we have to consider yearly calculations. We cannot do monthly calculations. We have to do yearly calculations. So when it comes to yearly calculations, all values that are available on per month basis have to be multiplied by 12 because in a year there are 12 months. So we have to multiply those values with 12 and accordingly we have multiplied the basic salary which is 4,000 rupees per month into 12. Okay, we get 48,000 rupees as basic salary, right? Next, the condition says DA should be considered as a part of retirement benefits. You are allowed to consider DA in salary, but the problem here is in the problem they have not given us DA, right? So when they have not given us DA, okay, we need not consider DA in this particular calculation as far as salary is concerned. Next, they say commission. Now, here in the problem, you can see a commission of rupees 8,000 being paid per annum basis, right? Here you can see commission being paid as 8,000 rupees per month basis. But when it comes to the calculation part, we have not considered that. Can anyone tell me?
So the condition is that the commission should be in the percentage of the turnover of that person's salary, sir.
Yes, yes, yes. Whenever you are going to consider the word commission, please understand that a certain percentage has to be given. Is there any definite percentage given? They have just given the value here. We don't want the value. We want a specific percentage, okay? And we also need what is the total turnover that is achieved by him. If these two values are missing, and if direct commission is given, you need not consider commission as a part of computation of salary for HRA basis. That is the reason in the answer, in the first part of the answer, they have just taken 48,000 rupees. DA is not applicable, so anyways it is nil. Though commission, the word commission is mentioned, but a fixed percentage is not mentioned. A fixed value is given. A fixed value need not be considered. Only a fixed percentage of commission has to be considered. And therefore, when it comes to commission, the amount here is written as nil. Any doubts in understanding this concept? Yutika, Nabiraj, any doubts in understanding these concepts?
No, sir. No, sir.
What
Understood.
about Yutika?
Sir, understood.
Okay. So when we take a total of this, we get salary of 48,000 rupees, which we have to consider for HRA calculations that we are going to do it immediately, right? Now, this is for our calculation purpose. This is the amount of salary that we are going to consider. Okay. Now, let us come to the next part, right? So it says what is taxable. We have to compute what is taxable HRA. This is the heading, right? Now, what we are going to consider? We are going to consider three things. First condition, okay, how much HRA has he received? Now, in the problem, it is given what is the HRA that he has, what is the HRA that he has been receiving, right? In the problem, it is given how much HRA is he receiving? He is receiving 1500 rupees per month as HRA. Out of that, how much is he paying? He is paying 1200. Okay, now we have to do these calculations. The first calculation is amount received during the financial year for HRA. How much is it? It's 1500 rupees per month into 12 months. From where did I get this 1500 rupees? I got this 1500 rupees from here because HRA is mentioned here as 1500 rupees per month. Clear? So I am considered this particular amount 1500 from the data that is given to me in the problem, right? So 1500 into 12, I get 18,000 rupees as the first calculation. Next, I have to consider the exemption limits under section 3, subsection 13A. Again, I am repeating, you need not mention the sections, you can directly start. What is the actual HRA that he has received? What is the actual HRA that he has received? It is same. Whatever money was paid to him, 1500 rupees into 12. What he received? 18,000 rupees. So we are going to write down 18,000 rupees once again here. We have noted it here, but still we'll write it down once again because these are we have to check what the three exemption limits. That is the reason I have written it once again as 18,000 rupees. Okay. Next, 40% of salary. Why 40%? Is because the condition says that if you are living in a non-metro city, only 40% of the salary should be considered, whereas if you are living in a metro city, 50% of the salary should be considered. Now, Coimbatore is not a metro city, it is a normal city, so we have to consider only 40%. So 40% into 48,000 works at around 19,200 rupees. Okay, so if you multiply this 40% into 48,000, the amount that you get is 19,200 rupees. And the third condition of HRA says that rent paid in excess of 10% of salary, right? Rent paid in excess of 10% of salary. So what is rent paid? First of all, rent paid is 1200 rupees per month into 12 months. So you'll get some amount. Okay, you will get some amount. And once you get this particular amount, what is 10% of salary? 10% of salary is 4,800 rupees. Are you able to understand? So once you minus these amounts from this particular value, whatever amount you get is 9,600 rupees. Okay, can anyone help me out with this calculation? 1,200 into 12. Can anyone do this quickly?
So 14,400.
14,400. So out of 14,400, okay, you subtract 4,800. 10% of 48,000 is 4,800.
9,600.
So when you subtract from 14,400, when you subtract 4,800, the amount that you get is 9,600. Okay. Now the condition for HRA is the least of the three. The least of the three amount is to be exempted. So which is the least of the three amounts? It is 9,600 rupees. Are you able to understand? The least amount is 9,600 rupees. So that is the amount that is going to be exempted from tax. But on the other hand, how much did you receive? You received 18,000 rupees and exempted amount is only 9,600 rupees. So what is taxable HRA for you? It is 8,400 rupees. Getting the logic here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, once we know what is the taxable HRA, the problem clearly tells us compute the income chargeable under the head salary. So now we need to understand, or now we need to come to the conclusion as to what is his income under the head salaries. Clear? Are you able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now just look at this. I have to compute his basic salary. So what is his basic salary? 4,000 into 12. So I write down 48,000 as it is. How much of house rent is exempted? 9,600 is exempted. How much is taxable? 8,400 is taxable. So this 8,400 will write it here again because we have to put the tax on that particular income. So we will see what is the applicable or what is the taxable HRA in this particular case. Done. So 48,000 is his basic salary plus taxable HRA is going to be 8,400 rupees. Commission which is mentioned in his salary, will take it as 8,000 rupees. Bonus that he has received as 6,000, that will take it as it is. And when we arrive at it, we'll arrive at his gross salary of 70,400 rupees. Okay. From that we have the standard deductions of 40,000 rupees and professional tax which is given to us. Professional tax which is given to us as 40 rupees per month. So 40 rupees per month into 12. Okay, so 480 rupees is the professional tax. We'll come to standard deductions at a later stage. Okay, but 480 rupees is this professional tax. So when you subtract these amounts, the income from salary is going to be 29,920 rupees. Clear? Any doubts in understanding this particular problem? This is how you need to solve the problems. First step, arrive at what is salary for HRA. Next, do the computation of HRA and find out what is exempted HRA and what is taxable HRA. Next, you have to compute income chargeable under the head salary. So you will take whatever things are mentioned in the salary with due exemptions. Okay, and then arrive at the gross salary. From the gross salary, you do the standard deductions and professional tax deductions, and ultimately whatever amount is left out, that will be the income chargeable under the head salaries. Any doubts in this? Any doubts, please?
No, sir.
Okay. Can somebody solve the next one?
Yes, sir.
So Mr. Mohit is employed with XY Limited with a basic salary of 10,000 per month. He is entitled for DA. Now here DA is given 100% of basic salary. Okay, and 50% of which is to be included in salary as per terms of the employment. That's fine. The company gives him HRA of 6,000 rupees per month, which was increased to 7,000 rupees per month with effect from 1/1/2019. He got an increment of 1,000 rupees per month on his basic with effect from 1/2/2019. Rent paid by him during the previous year is as under whatever. From April to May, he was staying with his parents, so no rent paid by him. June to October, he stayed in Ghaziabad. Rent paid is 6,000 per month. Mind you, Ghaziabad is not a metro city. From November onwards till March, he stayed in Delhi. Rent paid was 8,000 rupees per month. What is his gross salary for assessment? Is the question that has been asked. How will you solve this particular problem, or what will be your approach for solving this particular problem? How will you solve this?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, here there are two cities. One is Delhi and another is Ghaziabad.
Right.
Sir, I will take two cities calculation, sir. For Ghaziabad, I will take 40%, whereas for Delhi, I will take 50%. And it is date is given 1/2/2009. So calculation for Delhi will be for 5 months, sir. Whereas the remaining month will be for Ghaziabad.
Okay. And what about his increment
Uh,
in salary and other things?
So basic salary they have given 10,000, sir, and another they told 11,000. The 10,000 is for 10 months, means 10,000 into 10, sir, and 11,000 into 2. We should add both, sir.
Right.
And dearness allowance they gave that 100%, sir. So 100% of the above basic salary, sir. Then wait a second, I will calculate, sir. 1,22,000, sir, means 100% of 1,22,000.
Okay.
Means 1,22,000 is DA.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Anyone else are you able to understand what Rohin is telling? I want others to respond. What are you able to understand what Rohin is telling?
No, sir.
Okay. How many of you are not able to understand what Rohin is saying? Just raise your hand. Okay, Narayan. Narayan, Vishaka, Mrunali. I can see only very few hands. That means all others have followed it. Okay, fine, fine. I'll explain to you this particular problem. It's a simple one, but looks complicated. Fine. First thing, uh, yeah. So totally 5 participants have raised their hand. Okay. So let us try to understand this particular problem. Okay. First of all, what is the basic salary of that Mr. Mohit? It is 10,000 per month. Okay. Fine. So we'll start with only with the basic salaries. We'll start only with the basic salary. So we have the assessee, Mr. Mohit. This is the calculation part. So let us see what he is doing now. What is Mohit's basic salary? It is 10,000 per month. Agreed. Now, it is 10,000 per month from always all our calculations will start from April 1st April 2018 to 31st March 2019. All our calculations will start from that day. Okay. Now in the problem, it is very clearly told to you that the basic salary of this particular person, Mr. Mohit, was 10,000 rupees. Okay. And there is one more statement that he got an increment of 1,000 rupees with effect from 1st February 2019. Okay. So if you calculate from 1st April 2018 to 31st March 2019, it is 12 months. In this particular 12 months, he got an increment on 1st February. So that means February he is going to receive a salary of 11,000 rupees and March he is going to receive a salary of 11,000 rupees. So only 2 months he is going to receive that extra 1,000 rupees, which also means in the last 10 months he will continue to receive 10,000 rupees. Now, if I have to make the calculation for basic salary, this is how it looks. 10,000 rupees into 10 months, because if you calculate on your fingers, Okay, it is April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Okay, and November and December, January. Okay, so I think our calculations are starting from May first, not April but May, right? Now, in this particular tenure of 10 months, he continued to get a salary of 10,000 rupees, right? So from April to January, it is 10 months. So in 10 months, he got a salary of 10,000 rupees. Fair enough. Plus, with effect from 1st February, he got an extra 1,000 rupees. So his total salary was 11,000 rupees. So 11,000 into 2 plus 10,000 into 10. If you club these two values, the final amount that you're going to receive is 1,22,000 rupees. So that is going to be his basic salary. Again, I'm saying when it comes to computation of salaries, all your calculations have to be multiplied by 12 because in a year we have 12 months, right? So we get an amount of 1,22,000 rupees as his basic salary. This is the first condition. Second condition that has been told to you in the problem is that the company pays him a dearness allowance, no doubt about it, and the percentage of dearness allowance is 100%, right? So whatever is his basic salary, exactly the same amount is what he is going to get as his dearness allowance. So here also he is going to get 1,22,000 only. Is it clear? Any doubts in this?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, for our calculation purpose, there are two working notes here. Okay. There are two working notes. First thing, he's staying in a rent. First of all, he was staying with his parents. So if you're staying with your parents and if you don't pay the rent, we will not consider that part. Okay, that was very clearly given to you in the problem. If he's staying in a rent, if he's staying with his parents and if he's not paying the rent, we will not consider that part as far as calculation of HRA is concerned. We will consider only from that time from which he started staying on a rented basis. Okay, and from that day we are going to see. So he started to stay in Ghaziabad from 1st June. Okay, from 1st June 2018 to 31st 10 2018. Okay, so for almost 5 months he stayed in a rented house in a place called Ghaziabad. Okay, now when he was staying in this particular place called Ghaziabad, let us see what are his calculations as far as salary is concerned. So first we'll compute salary for this particular person. Okay, now since he stayed only for 5 months, okay, in the place called Ghaziabad, we will consider only his 5 months salary. And by the way, during this tenure of or during this time, okay, he did not get an increment, so we'll continue to take 10,000 only as his salary. So 10,000 into 5 comes out to 50,000 rupees. Okay, in the problem it is clearly given to you DA considered for retirement benefits. By the way, HRA comes under retirement benefits. Okay, you did not necessarily retire for this, but it comes under the head retirement benefits. And in the problem it is clearly told to you that only, look at this, 50% to be included in salary as per terms of the employment. This particular statement is important. So whenever we are computing HRA, we have to consider only 50% of his basic salary, right? So that is what we are doing here. So in this particular case, so we are going to take 50,000, which is the amount available. So we are going to consider the same 50,000 here into 50%, right? So 50% into 50,000, the amount works at around 25,000. Clear? Next, there is no commission for him, so there is no fixed commission, neither there is a percentage of commission, so that amount is going to be nil. So his income from salary for those 5 months that he stayed in Ghaziabad, his income from salary is going to be 75,000, which this amount we are going to consider for our HRA calculations. Up to this point, please tell me if you have any doubts.
No, sir.
I want others to respond.
No, sir.
And Abhiraj, any doubts here?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, any other person is having any doubts?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. So we have computed, what we have done is we have computed only salary for HRA calculations when it comes to his stay only in Ghaziabad, by the way, we have not gone to Delhi. We have just continued our calculation only for Ghaziabad, right? So now for all practical purpose, the salary that we are going to consider is 75,000 for HRA computation. Now let us see, in this 5 months that he stayed in Ghaziabad, how much HRA the company paid him. Okay, so the company paid him an HRA of 6,000 rupees. Okay, amount received means the company paid him, that is the reason he received it. So he received 6,000 rupees as HRA, and that too we are going to consider only 5 months because his stay in Ghaziabad was only for 5 months. So we are going to consider only 5 months calculation. So 6,000 into 5 works out at 30,000 rupees is the HRA that he received for 5 months. Fair enough. So we know that this is the amount that he has received. Now we have to look for the exemption limits, right? The first condition in exemption limit says what is the actual HRA that he received. Fine. He received 30,000 from the company. So same 30,000 we are going to write down here once again. Okay. Next, Ghaziabad, as I said, is not a metro city. So we have to consider only 40% of his salary. And for our calculation, what is salary? Salary is 75,000 rupees. So 40% of 75,000 rupees works out at again 30,000 rupees. Okay. Next is rent paid in excess of 10% of salary. Now, what is the rent paid by him? What is the rent paid by him? Can anyone tell me what is the rent paid by him?
So 6,000
Here,
per month.
6,000 per month is the rent paid. So he received 6,000 rupees from the company. He paid 6,000 rupees, okay, as rent. So rent paid by him is 6,000 rupees into 5 months. So 30,000 rupees is what he is going to pay here. Only this part is he has paid 30,000 rupees. And the condition is rent paid in excess of 10% of salary. What is 10% of salary? What is 10% of 75,000? It works out at 7,500 rupees. 10% of 75,000 is 7,500 rupees. So 30,000 is this calculation minus 7,500 works out at 22,500 rupees. The condition is the least of the three should be exempted from tax. What is the least of the three? It is 22,500. So how much did he receive? He received 30,000 rupees. What is the exemption limit available to him? It is only 22,500 rupees. So in Ghaziabad, his taxable HRA is going to work out at 7,500 rupees. Any doubts here?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, if you're done with this, the same logic or on similar basis, the logic will work out for a place called Delhi. Okay. Now let us see what are the conditions that he has to follow in Delhi. Remember what his stay is in Delhi is? His stay in Delhi is also 5 months, from November to March. So his stay in Delhi is also 5 months. Fair enough. So what is the basic salary that he is going to receive? Mind you, when did he get an increment? He got an increment in February and March. So these 2 months salary, we have to consider 11,000 rupees, and the remaining 3 months salary, we have to consider 10,000 rupees only. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll consider his salary for November, December and January as 10,000 rupees per month. So 10,000 into 3 plus February he got an increment of 1,000 rupees. So 11,000 and 11,000 for February and 11,000 for March. So we are going to multiply 11,000 into 2. Total amount comes to 52,000 rupees. Okay. Next, 50% of it is to be considered for HRA computation. So 50% of 52,000 works out at 26,000 rupees. And as I said, there is no commission that he is paid, neither on fixed basis nor on percentage basis. So this amount is going to be nil. So total income for all our computation purpose, the salary that we have to consider here is 78,000 rupees. Is it clear? Fine. Now let us see what is the HRA that he received. Okay. Now His stay in Delhi was for 5 months. Out of those 5 months, for the first 2 months, he received 6,000 rupees per month from the company towards rent. So 6,000 into 2 that we have to consider. Plus his HRA was increased. That means he received 7,000 rupees per month for January, February and March. So we have to consider 7,000 rupees into 3. So total amount comes to 33,000 rupees. Okay. So this is the HRA that he received from the company. Now we have to check the exemption limits. The first condition in exemption limit, as I said, what is the actual HRA received by the company? It is same 33,000 that is mentioned here. 50% of salary. So for our all practical purpose, we have to consider 50% here. Why? Because he has shifted to Delhi and Delhi is a metro city. So 50% of 78,000 rupees is what we have to consider. That works out at around 39,000 rupees. Okay. And rent paid in excess of 10% of salary. What is the rent paid? What is the total rent paid by him? It is going to be 40,000 rupees. Okay. This is 40,000 rupees. From where did I get this 40,000 rupees? You have to just go in the problem. You will see that, okay, from November to March, that is for 5 months, he paid 8,000 rupees per month. So 8 into 5, 8 5s are 40. So it works out around 40,000 rupees per month. Okay. So he paid 40,000 rupees as rent. Okay. And the second condition in the same is, what is 10% of salary? 10% of salary is 7,800 rupees. So 40,000 rupees minus 7,800 rupees, whatever amount is there, it has to be written here. The condition is least of the 3 is to be exempted. So what is the least of the 3? It is 32,200. So 32,200 is what we write here. You received 33,000. Okay, you are exempted from paying tax up to 32,200 rupees. So you are going to be taxed as far as HRA is concerned only to the tune of 800 rupees. So 800 rupees for Delhi and 7,500 rupees for Ghaziabad. You add these two values, that is going to be your taxable HRA. Okay, so we have these two values, 7,500 rupees plus 800 works out at 8,000. When you add these two, what is the total amount that you get? 8,300 rupees is the total amount that has to be added back to salary. Okay, so now we'll go back to salary. Yeah. So we'll go back to salary here. Now, this is the basic salary that is given to us. Sorry, this is the basic salary that we have computed. Dearness, for computation of salary purpose, we have to take full. For HRA purpose, we have taken half. But for salary purpose, we have to take full. So it is going to be 1,22,000. Now you might wonder for this HRA calculation, from where did I get this 12,000 rupees? From where did I get this 12,000 rupees? 7,500 we computed because he stayed in Ghaziabad. 800 we computed because he stayed in Delhi. But from where did this 12,000 come? Can anyone tell me, please? Yeah, Sufyan. Can you tell me from where this 8,000 rupees, 12,000 rupees come from? Or can anyone tell me from where did this 12,000 rupees come from?
Sir,
Yeah.
so in the question they have given 1,000 per month has an increment in the basic. That only we have to 1,000 into.
No, but why HRA? My condition is why HRA? They should have added in basic. Why are you adding in HRA?
So he stays in Ghaziabad from so from so like from 5th month he stays in Ghaziabad.
Okay.
From 6th month, sorry. Yeah, 6th month. So before that he was staying with his parents.
Okay.
So I don't see the problem here.
Can you see the problem now?
Yes, sir.
Just understand, April and May, these 2 months, he stayed with his parents, right? He stayed with his parents. He did not pay the rent, but still received 6,000 rupees as HRA, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're getting it. He stayed with his
Yes, sir.
parents. Agreed. He did not pay the rent.
Sir, yeah.
Agreed. But he continued to get 6,000 rupees per month as HRA. So 6,000 for April and 6,000 for May. How much is it?
So 12,000.
So this is where you got this 12,000.
Okay.
So 12,000 for April and May, 7,500 from June to October, 800 rupees from November to March. Are you able to understand? So this is where we get taxable HRA as 20,000 rupees. So once we add all this, we get his total taxable salary as, or gross salary as, 2,64,300. There is a standard deduction of 40,000 rupees. Okay, so we'll take the standard deduction as 40,000 rupees. There is no professional tax given to us, so we'll not take it. So the taxable salary for him is going to be only 2,24,300. Clear with this? So this is how the calculations work out as far as HRA is concerned. I think I have less than a minute time left. Yeah, I have 2 minutes left. No, we just were able to solve only 2 problems, that too on HRA, very simple ones. Okay, I think this was a bit complicated because you had 2 different locations. HRA computation was a bit complicated because he stayed with his parents here, he stayed in one city here, then he moved to a metro city. So these calculations are going to be a bit challenging. You can receive such type of problems in exam. Okay, the first problem was very basic, but you can receive these types of problems in your examination. Okay, so any doubts in this, please let me know. Otherwise, we are going to stop the class here. Yeah, any doubts, please? Let me open the chat. Okay, no problems. Honestly, are you able to understand this? See, whatever best I can do, I am trying to see that you get the PDF notes and also you get the problems, because it shouldn't be that some things are not clear. So I'm seeing that I click the problems along with the solution and send it, so that it's a record with you. One second, okay, you can always keep on referring, and I need not waste time in solving the problem on online system, because if I write on the board behind me, visibility is a problem. I have checked it that. So that is the issue. That is the reason I am not writing it. Okay. Apart from this, if you have any doubts in the problems that we just solved, you can always come back to me. Otherwise, we'll stop it and we'll see you on Monday. Okay. Any doubts here?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
No, sir.
We'll stop this.
No,
I
sir.
am getting one thing. We are constantly having around 24 to 25 people. Remaining people are not joining in. Okay. Please ask them to join. Otherwise, it will be a problem for them. Okay. So we'll stop the class here. See you on Monday.